This is Wintergirls 11. Emma goes to bed, and Jennifer goes to bed, and Dad goes to bed. On the other side of town, my mother stays up too late, but she finally goes to bed too. I cannot sleep. Heat lighting shoots through my skull, short-circuiting the wires. I am cold, then hot, and then I can't feel my fingers or my toes. Someone is standing on the other side of my door. I can feel it, but no. Everyone is sleeping. Everyone is enchanted, pulled under into a dream. The moon drips through my window. I wait. Spiders hatch and crawl out of my belly button, hairy little tar beads with ballerina feet. They swarm, spinning a silk veil, 100,000 spider thoughts woven together until they wrap me up in a cozy shroud. I breathe in. The web presses against my open lips. It tastes dusty, like old curtains. The smell of ginger and cloves and burnt sugar drifts over my bed. The smell of her body wash and shampoo and perfume. She's coming, any minute now. I breathe out, and it begins. Thorn-covered vines creep across the floor, crackling like a bonfire. Black roses bloom in the moonlight, born dead and brittle. The web on my face holds my eyes open, forcing me to watch as Cassie steps out of the shadows, briars twining up her legs and around her body, reaching up through her hair. 1 minute she's by the door, the next she stands over me. The temperature in the room has dropped 20 degrees. Her voice is in my head. "Leah," she says. I can't make a sound. Spiders crawl on my face and leap across to her arms. They fly back and forth, knitting us together. "Come with me," she says. "Please." The web locks us into place, staring at each other as the moon slithers across the sky and the stars fall asleep. "12. Wake up, Leah." Emma shakes my shoulder. I groan and bury myself deeper in the warm cocoon. "Wake up." She turns on the light. "You're going to be late." I open my eyes and raise my hand to block out the glare. I'm still wearing my clothes. It's dark outside. "What time is it?" "Duh," says Emma, "after 6:30. My room smells like dirty laundry and old candles, not spices or burnt sugar. I plant my face in my pillow. 5 more minutes. "You have to get up now." She drags the comforter off me. "Mommy said." "Hey, it's cold." "Don't yell. Mommy has a migraine. I tried to wake you up nice, but you didn't move." I swing my legs over the side of the bed and sit up. There are no spiderwebs in sight. No rose petals on the carpet. Cassie is in the morgue, belly slit and draining like a fresh-caught fish. It didn't happen. I shiver, pull the comforter back up and wrap it around my shoulders. "Where's my dad?" "It's Tuesday, silly. Squash day." "Why is squash the only vegetable that has a game named after it?" "Crap. Tuesday." "Where's Jennifer?" "Drying her hair." "Where are you going?" It's Tuesday. I race downstairs to the laundry room, as far away from Jennifer's ears as I can get. I turn on the tap, lean over the sink, and guzzle until my belly is a big water balloon. I sail on the tide toward the kitchen, heavy loaded with ballast waves splashing. When Jennifer comes down with dry hair and sloppy eyeliner, I'm on the first cup of coffee of the day, black. I have Daddy's dirty plate in front of me, so it looks like I ate toast and jam. "Migraine?" I ask. She nods once, winces, and puts a mug of water into the microwave. My little not-sister shoves a shoebox diorama across the table at me. "It's a coliseum in Greece," she says, "where they tortured the people and fed them to the tigers." "Sounds like middle school," I say. "That is not funny," Jennifer says, "and it's the Roman Coliseum in Rome, not Greece." "Stop touching it, Emma." The glue isn't dry yet. The microwave beeps. She takes out the mug, plops in a tea bag that smells like lemons, glances at the clock and says, "Come on, Leah, upstairs." 3 stars. The second time they let me out of prison new seasons, crossed out, the clinic 6 months ago, I divorced my mother, crossed out, Dr. Merrigan, and moved to Jenniferland. Once the shock wore off, Dad liked the idea. It would be a new start, he said, with a predictable routine and someone who knew how to cook. Every summer morning, I did the good daughter shuffle into the kitchen and sat at the breakfast table with my father. From the discharge papers, family meal times should be light and pleasant. He would lecture me about his latest research into the boring life of some dead guy while I ate tiny forkfuls of mushroom omelet and nibbles of cinnamon bagel with butter. The doctors told Dad to buy a blubber-o-meter 3000, a bathroom scale with a giant dial that was easy to read. Jennifer had to do the dirty work, weighing me in my tattered yellow robe to make sure I stayed fat. For the first couple of months, she measured my sins every morning and called in the results to my doctor once a week. The ugly numbers made me cry. Every day weighing became every other day weighing, became every Tuesday weighing because none of us wanted to do it in the first place. I changed into the yellow robe in my bedroom and made sure the quarters I sewed into the pockets aren't making them droop. When I get to the bathroom, Jennifer is fixing her eyeliner in the mirror. I step on the scales. 107 fake pounds. She writes the number in the little green notebook that lives in the cabinet next to the antibacterial ointment, then flips through 24 weeks of humiliating recorded weights. That's down a quarter pound. Way above trouble, though. The notebook goes back in the cabinet. The cover is beginning to tear off the spiral rings. I step off the scale and change the subject. Can I take Emma out for ice cream after school? The step mouth opens, but no words come out. Emma is 9. Emma is plump. Plump, not husky, not heavy, not fat. She is big-boned, like her dad, she says, and her plump is perfect. Emma could be a model. We've heard it a million times at school concerts and soccer tournaments. She is the new American average, a living flesh girl with chocolate M&M eyes and hair that bounces, and a roll of love around her tummy. Jennifer thinks that Emma is fat, crossed out, plump, but she doesn't have the guts to say it. 1 scoop, I promise. In a dish. Not today. Her lipstick is bleeding into the corners of her mouth. She pulls a tissue out of the box and leans into the mirror to repair the damage.
I remember that episode.
It's an antique mirror with little waves on the surface of it. Sometimes it can make you look like an elegant princess trapped in time. Other times it makes you look like a pig. I pull back the shower curtain and turn on the water. Jennifer blots. Chloe called, she says, again. Here? No, David's office. I make the water hotter. I do not like the shape of my mother's name in her mouth. Did you hear what I said? You said Mom called Dad. You promised me yesterday that you'd call her. I sit on the edge of the tub and test the temperature with my fingers. I'm sorry, I forgot. Don't worry about it. She wants you to visit her this weekend, to spend the night. She said it's time for you two to try again, especially with Cassie's death. She's very worried about you. No. Jennifer's reflection frowns at me. She's still learning how to pick her way through the bombed-out countryside that lies between her step mess and the mythological wife number 1. But she earns a star for trying. She takes a deep breath. I think it's a good idea. I don't. Come on, Leah, you should. You're not supposed to say that. Steam billows. I want to strip and boil myself, but if she sees me naked, she'll freak. And if I get in the shower wearing my robe, she'll freak harder. Dr. Parker says I don't have to let anyone should on me. I'm sorry. She wipes a clear spot in the mirror. I'm just trying to help. I know. When she married my father, I was the once-a-month visitor who cleaned the kitchen without being told and babysat for free. I bet she wishes she had written an escape clause into the prenup. What did Dad tell Mom? I ask. He said he'd talk to you. The water falls, 5 gallons a minute down the drain. Jennifer is fading behind the wall of steam. Just go for one night. Her voice is sticky, like the lipstick bled on her tongue. Get there at dinner time on Saturday, come home after breakfast. I open my mouth to ask her to go with me to the funeral, to go to the wake tomorrow, to help me figure out if I should call Cassie's parents, or if that would make things worse. I open my mouth, but steam rushes in and boils away the words. Did you say something? She asks. Are you going to the store today? What? Are you going to the store? I'm out of tampons. Total lie, brilliant diversion. Sure, I'll pick some up. You'll call Chloe? I'll call her this afternoon. Now, if you don't mind. I stand up and reach for the belt of my robe. She steps into the hall, half closing the door. Thanks, honey. I'll tell David. I stare into the steam until I know she's down the stairs. Don't call me honey.
Yeah.
13. I turn off the shower. Clouds hang in the air. Tears roll down the mirror, the walls, and the windows. I wait for the magical sound of the garage door closing and then count while her car rolls down the driveway and takes off for Park Street Elementary. After they reduced the green pills and orange pills, because I was such a very, very good little girl, the fog thinned in my head and my brain shifted back into drive. Life in Jenniferland took a little getting used to. There were always people around, for one thing. Jennifer had friends. Dad threw barbecues. Emma suckered them into letting me babysit her, except for the mornings I had to go to summer school. My father, 110 kiddo, you look great, bought me a new car. 3 years old, 80,000 miles, but new tires and very safe. So I could drive Emma to the pool and soccer and her friends' houses. It wasn't like I had anywhere else to go. Cassie had dumped me. My other friends had faded away when I wasn't paying attention. Dad promised me a bunch of road trips to make me feel better. We were going to watch the sunrise over the ocean, listen to the Boston Pops, drive up to Canada for a cup of coffee, and turn around and drive home. He was so convincing, I really believed him for a while. But then his editor refused to change his book deadline again, and he had to take over a summer session class, and we never went anywhere. My car took me to a medical supply store where I bought a killer-accurate digital scale, one that could not be tampered with, unlike the Blubber-O-Meter 3000. I remove the real scale from its hiding place in my closet and carry it back to the bathroom. Weight must be measured on a hard surface. The phones ring, one in every room in the house, ding, dong, caroling bells. The answering machine picks up. I pee out the extra water inside me and strip. I stand 5 feet, 5 inches tall, a little shorter than freshman year. That's when my period stopped too. I pretend to be fat, a healthy teenager. They pretend to be my parents. Everything is just fine, crossed out. I close my eyes. As I step on the scale, Jennifer warns Emma about ice cream. As I step on the scale, Emma fears vanilla. As I step on the scale, Dad swings his racket and scores. As I step on the scale, Mom slices open a stranger. As I step on the scale, shadows edge closer. As I step on the scale, Cassie dreams. I open my eyes. 99.00 pounds. I am officially standing on goal number 1. Ha! If my docs knew, they'd body slam me back into treatment. There would be consequences and repercussions because, once again, I broke the rules about the perfect-sized Leah. I'm supposed to be as big as they want. I'm supposed to repeat my affirmations like incantations to drive the nasty voices out of my head. I'm supposed to commit to recovery like a nun pledging body and soul in a covenant. They are morons. This body has a different metabolism. This body hates dragging around the chains they wrap around it. Proof? At 99 pounds, I think clearer, look better, feel stronger. When I reach the next goal, it will be all that and more. Goal number 2 is 95, the perfect point of balance. At 95, I will be pure, light enough to walk with my head up, meaty enough to fool everybody. At 95, I will have the strength to stay in control. I'll stand on the blocks hidden in the toes of my satin ballet slippers, pink ribbons sewn into my calves, and rise up in the air, magical. At 90, I will soar. That's goal number 3. Cassie watches, half hidden in the shower curtain. Give it up, she whispers.